Okay, let's dive into this. Welcome to today's Explainer. We're going to completely dissect a pretty wild piece of modern internet culture. Now, you know as well as I do, sometimes the coolest part about a piece of info isn't just the raw facts, right? It's how it's packaged, how it's actually sold to us. So today, we're tearing down the anatomy of this massively viral claim, a so-called psychological trick that targets, well, matters of the heart. We're going to peel back all that sensationalism and take a really close look at the nuts and bolts of what's actually being taught here. It is literally a masterclass in how information is framed online these days, and we're going to map out the whole shebang. Just listen to this hook for a second. How to make your crush obsessed with you using dark psychology. Wow. I mean, you can really feel the dramatic pacing there, right? It is bold. It's totally sensational. Notice how they use the word obsessed. Not just, interested or attracted, but obsessed. And the promise to pull this off using dark psychology, that is language engineered to absolutely stop you scrolling in your tracks. It's basically promising this secret, almost forbidden knowledge, like a hidden superpower that gives you total control over another person's romantic feelings. It's a wildly aggressive opening, and it sets this incredibly specific, edgy expectation for what you think you're about to learn.
Section 1. The ethical warning. Setting boundaries.
So right after dropping that high-stakes, dangerous-sounding hook, the creator does something totally unexpected. They literally slam on the brakes and demand a promise from the viewer. A promise that you'll use this trick carefully and responsibly. Okay, the sheer irony here is just incredible. Think about that whiplash. Like 5 seconds ago, we were being sold on the dark, manipulative art of making someone obsessed with us. And now? Now we're getting this stern, parental finger wag to act with care and responsibility. The contrast is it's super sharp, and it completely flips the temperature of the whole conversation. The source actually goes on to spell out these boundaries super clearly. Do not manipulate, do not abuse psychological techniques, do not control someone's feelings. Okay, wait a minute. So the creator is explicitly forbidding the exact outcome they just promised in the title. They hooked us with the promise of total control and obsession, and then immediately built this protective, ethical fence around the actual advice. You gotta admit, it's pretty funny. The gap between that edgy, dark packaging and this incredibly wholesome disclaimer is just massive. It's a giant red flag telling us we need to look really closely at what this technique actually is, because spoiler alert, it's clearly not the dangerous weapon it claims to be.
Section 2. The art of mirroring. The core technique.
All right, so what's the big secret? Well, here's the exact definition from the source. Mirroring, a simple trick that involves copying your crush's actions when you're interacting with them. Did you catch that shift in terminology? We have officially left the terrifying realm of dark psychology and arrived at what they're now explicitly calling a simple trick. The veil is completely lifted. This forbidden knowledge? It's basically just the act of paying attention to someone and physically reflecting their behavior back to them while you're chatting. Let's move to and see how this builds, step by step, into an actual interaction. The source outlines 4 specific actions you can take to mirror someone. Number 1, smile back. If they smile, you smile. Groundbreaking, right? Number 2, lean in to talk. If they lean forward to show they're engaged, you do the exact same thing. Number 3, match their tone of voice. And number 4, match their pace of speaking. I mean, just think about those steps for a second. They are remarkably polite. They're so mundane. There is absolutely nothing sinister or dark about smiling back at a person who smiles at you. Leaning in when someone talks isn't some evil manipulation tactic. It is literally just the universal body language of active, respectful listening. And matching someone's speaking pace, that's just basic conversational attunement. This isn't mind control, folks. It's literally just having good manners and actually being present in a conversation. Section 3. Why mirroring actually works, the psychological outcome. But why do these specific, polite little actions carry so much weight? And this brilliantly illustrates the core translation happening in this trick. We take the physical inputs, the copying of actions, the smiling, leaning in, the mirroring, and convert them into psychological outputs: connection, familiarity, and comfort. By physically reflecting someone's state, you are definitely not hacking their brain to force obsession. No way. Instead, you're signaling to them on a totally subconscious level that you're on the same wavelength. You're showing them they're seen, they're understood, and they're safe. The creator points out that mirroring makes the other person feel more connected to you specifically because it creates this cozy sense of familiarity and comfort. When you boil it down, it taps into a fundamental, really beautiful human desire. We just like people who make us feel comfortable, and we feel comfortable with people who reflect our own energy right back at us. Which leaves us with one final overarching question to chew on. Is this truly dark psychology? Or is it just basic human empathy wrapped in a viral hook? I mean, we started with this sensational promise of total obsession and control. Then we walked through these strict ethical boundaries. And we ended up learning that the big dark secret to romance is active listening, smiling, and making someone feel comfortable. This explainer isn't just about how to chat up a crush. It's honestly a perfect case study in media literacy. It really shows us how everyday wholesome human behaviors can be repackaged and dramatized just for clicks and engagement. So the next time you see a claim promising you some dangerous, secret psychological trick, I really want you to ask yourself, are they genuinely teaching me something dark? Or are they just teaching me how to be a more attentive, empathetic human being? It's definitely something to think about. Thanks for learning with me today, and I'll catch you on the next one.